jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Shout out to the hottest chat in the M. Effing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know who's in the building. First on deck, man. Mike is in the building. Salute to you, fam. What's good? I see you. Salute WCS in the chat and fam. Big shout out to everybody else is on their way. I'm going to give a little bit of time because I know I'm that channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might listen and you might not. But it's A-okay. I'm not going to lose no freaking stress over it, though. Because the real ones know and the fake ones stay away. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. But we got some good topics tonight. You know I'm going to drop the hot grease as always. It's always a chronicle here and there, even if I don't put it in the title. But I know somebody over there real hot right now. I know he hot, and I'm going to touch on him. He went live right when I put my thumbnail up. So he might have saw his thumbnail up there. And he said, he started losing his mind. But this ain't personal, man. I just want to get some clarification. That's all. I just want to get some clarification. You know, my title says Conflicting Reports. Tank fights ElRayo next. Canelo first versus Charlo. Crawford PBC award shocker. That's going to be the priority. Let's start with Canelo and get that out the way. Canelo versus Charlo. I wanted, and I was hoping, but it didn't come to fruition, that somehow, some way, we can get that, Crawford Canelo, but it's not happening. Okay? We also knew what was still festering previously was that Charlo said he'd be back in March. With that said, we still been waiting on the PBC's fight schedule to come out. But news has hit the blotter, which is, a lot of outlets have been posting that Canelo potentially may face his second Charlo in a row. Now, what does this mean to boxing? It means absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, getting a fight with Canelo, it was the creme de la creme. It was the finale that you always wanted. It was one of those pots of gold as a boxer that you say, oh man, I finally did it. But that's been kind of tainted just a little bit. Not so much on the Canelo side. Canelo is still golden. You know what I'm saying? His frankincense is still going to be shining. Why? Because he's going to get paid. He's not even the side. I mean, he's not even the A side no more. He's the side. Canelo is the side. Real talk. Nobody goes into that fight with Canelo believing they're nothing else except an opponent. Because Canelo is the side. So he fought Charlo. That fizzled bad. That fight was like Alka-Seltzer when you ask for a premium drink, a top shelf, and they come back and give you a drink, and you taste it, and it really gives you the Alka-Seltzer vibe, like the flat 7-Up or Sprite. Excuse me, did I say I had a stomach ache? Well, that's just for you to drink, before your meal comes out. It's gonna settle your stomach real nice, so it's gonna eliminate some gas, and because that's a spicy dish that you ordered. So this is Alka-Seltzer. Yes, yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? That fight was Alka-Seltzer. It was tart, and it involved the Charlo. It was supposed to be Mauro Charlo. So now, Mauro Charlo, who's coming off a win with Jose Benavidez, is rumored to be the next in line, which contractually, he let us know. He say, "Hey, I'm signed to fight Canelo, so y'all can say what y'all want, but I'm on the contract to fight Canelo, whether y'all like it or not. I'm gonna get my fight." So the Charlo brothers, the second one, I really can't say how it benefits them as a pair, really, because what's gonna suck is Mauro Charlo needs to come in here and fight for the family, the Charlo lineage. Because what's about to happen right now is that Mauro Charlo, who's undefeated, he's about to get blended in with his brother Mel Charlo on a record with Canelo. And I kind of mentioned this, man. I said Canelo is going to be the only fighter that has fought both Charlos. Not only is he fighting both Charlos, but he's about to fight them back to back. That's just embarrassing, bro. For real, that's embarrassing. It's not going to be embarrassing unless Charlo can pull off the win. If Mauro Charlo can pull off the win, it won't be as embarrassing, because right now we don't know where they at. They've been having their personal earthquakes outside of the ropes. They've been dealing with those after effects and tremors, and his brother didn't really put up a fight. But then you got Mauro Charlo, who considers himself Big Charlo. He's coming in here in his first fight at 168, and he's looking to prove, everybody wrong that think that both Charlos are the same. Now, it's like I said, he's undefeated. It's gonna take more than you just going in there and distance, meeting the final bell with with Canelo. You need to go past the final bell with this guy. You know what I'm saying? You need to go off into oblivion. You need to lose yourself. You need to fight a smart fight, but a risky fight. You need to put Canelo in uncomfortable situations and scenarios. You need to have the best fight of your life. Because who wants to brag about fighting a Charlo and both of y'all are in the loss column on his freaking resume? You don't. The win column on his resume, and both of y'all have, L's from the same fighter. You don't want that shit. You don't want that. Shout out to Jay on deck, man. Salute to y'all. Carlos on deck, man. I see you. W says salute, the hottest chat in the MF and game. Salute, yes, sir. We all know Tank Mayweather ain't risking that O. Yeah, we're going to get on that shot for real. Brim Reaper, what's good? Tank versus Rayo equal Canelo versus Maul trash. Canelo PBC of the year. Canelo PBC fight of the year. Comical. Yeah, all of what you said. All of what you said. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going to get to that. But, both Charlos, man, are at a point in their career where they pretty much, crashed out a bit. Seriously. They kind of crashed out real bad because a lot of fight fans know them for being cohesive. You know what I'm saying? Twin for twin, goddammit. But we also knew them, on social media for just being disrespectful and having conflict with each other. Good twin, bad twin. We don't know who the good twin. People say it's Jamal Charlo. You know what I'm saying? And Mel is the bad twin. He's pretty much held that role down pretty damn good. But I think it really burned up. it really caught fire when Charlo showed up to Mel's fight with Canelo and gave him a hug and everything with Roy. Because Roy, a peacemaker, he wanted everything to get back to normal. That's just what he do, man. Mel didn't show up to Marl's fight. There was no support there. He said he couldn't get in contact with his brother. If anybody y'all get in contact, you know, let him know I love him. He ain't picking up my phone calls. So they got some serious shit going on because even their spouses, man, fought each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's serious. That's real serious at the end of the day. You can't really say, okay, where the parents at, anything like that. There's no need to bring the parents into it because they're old. I mean, they're grown adults, the Charlos. They're in their 30s. They're grown adults, man. You know, the shit they're going through is what they want to be a part of. You know, not too many people knows what it's like to be a twin. Some of us can't even get along with our own brothers and sisters that don't look like us identically. But now we're dealing with two brothers, and the second one is about to go in and face Canelo. Canelo, you know, Mexican superstar he is, he's about to be the only fighter in the history of the sport to have both of the Charlos on his resume. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call him the side. Canelo is the side. He get to do what he wants to do when he want to do it. And I'm not gonna sit up here and cap or try to be try to exacerbate that I believe Charlo has a chance. I just never seen him in a fight that he's been able to level change to give, you know, Canelo Alvarez problems. Like, if by chance this fight is absolutely going down in May, he has plenty of time to train. Plenty of time to train. If you're talking about Charlo, you know, comparison to somebody on his resume that's, you know, competitive with Canelo, man, I can't call it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I just can't call it because he hasn't fought a freaking Callum Smith. He hasn't fought a Billy Joe Saunders. He hasn't fought a Caleb Plant. You know, we was hoping that he fight a Caleb Plant next. That would have been an eye catcher. But Canelo will do. You know, Canelo will do. Give him a chance to get money because, you know, Charlo had a long hiatus prior to stepping back in on Jose Benavidez. He got the win. Now he gets to go in there and get a bigger bag with Canelo. So keep your eyes tuned, you know what I'm saying, for that fight. It's going to be a long time from now. But once again, we still, you know, have the search party out there in the plains looking for that fight schedule. Well, it's supposed to come out at the end of March, which is kind of odd. But, you know, who cares? We just trying to see who's going to fight who. That's all. That's all. Moving on. As you see in the thumbnail, research, okay? Feel me on this. Research in the letter blue. Basically, the outer stroke is white. The reason why that is because, you know, some things Blue talks about, I just don't understand why he has committed himself to basically, you know, just putting out false information. Now, I know he's over there on his live early and he was, you know, pretty fired up. I don't know who he was fired up from or, you know, he's tired of people. But don't get tired. Brother, this is not personal. Don't get tired about something that you do. You put out information that is false. So I had to find a microscope and put one of your thumbnails, your old thumbnails, because a colleague of mine brought this to my attention, which made sense. He did, because I'm going to tell you, I'm not as active on YTC like that for boxing because I'm trying to, you know, pay attention to this UFC card that's coming up. You know, they got some good championship fights coming up, and I love watching BJJ. I do. But the research, the source experiment, what this means is that I want to try to change up the optic on how people view the information that is put out over there by Blue. That's why I had to get a microscope and examine some of the information that he has put out recently. He is basically, like I said, dedicated his integrity. A person that's been in this YTC before I was, been in these boxing streets or whatever. But somehow, some way, if we're gonna talk about evolving on the YTC, evolving doesn't mean just turn it into a gossip column, a reality show, and then get mad about the information people talking about because it's not true. He said that Frank Martin would be matched up as a rumored opponent for Tank Davis, right? No one else was coming out with this information. So I did a live stream while I was out in the ATL roadways, right? And I said, without even, I wasn't even online that day. I'm just chilling, man. He comes out with this Frank Martin, Gervonta Davis, and my reaction to it was, what does that make sense? Like, if you're gonna dedicate yourself to gossip, allow it to be good gossip. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go away from being a legitimate boxing channel that puts out information, validated information, credibility, then put out good gossip. It made no sense for Frank Martin to get a fight with Gervonta Davis when those titles just came available. Makes no sense. Why would they basically exhaust his O, and he's with Man Down Promotion, and he hasn't even got a title shot yet? And back then I said, it makes no sense for you to put this out just to talk about it. So if you up there feeling some type of way on this Friday, and your temperature and your pulse is a little bit higher than what you would want, and if you took your blood pressure, it might be 225. You know what I'm saying? It might be pretty high. But all I'm saying is, it didn't make sense. Now information is rumored that Tank will potentially fight ElRayo. And all I want to ask you, brother, is that where are you gathering this information? You know what I'm saying? Where are you sourcing this? Are you just saying, oh, I'm going to continue to provide the shock value? Well, let me tell you, it's no shock value anymore. Because what people have been, have come to realize, they're able to check around for different channels, and then they'll check around the different outlets, and then they go on X and they'll check on X, right? For you to drop information the way you do, human beings will start to become mentally fatigued when they're looking and where they're seeing information that you're putting out, and then come to find out no one else is talking about it. See, when I started to do this back in the day and basically highlight, what he was doing, at first people want to, get on this, they want to go to the rally point, and they want to march on WCS. They want to say I was hating and all that. But now they seeing what I was seeing. And see, even though Blue may not like that, that's him. That's what he do now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these channels, they believe they are the number one, they're number one. I've been under the structured environment before. I did 20 years in. I know what structure is like. When you're retired and you go through all that, go to combat and all that, some of us just don't want to just sit down every day and be on the instruction environment just because you have some people that you believe who are loyal to you, but yet every now and then they give you a monetary donation. I never frowned upon anybody supporting the channel, but I'm speaking about the information for which those people tend to support you on a regular basis. You said Martin was rumored to face Tank, and you didn't even break it down as to why that makes no sense at all. Tank get nothing from fighting Frank Martin. And then people go into detail about him fighting the Mexican fighters. Well, hey, that's the Mexican fighters that he's choosing to fight. But if you're talking about a fighter that used to be the face of PBC, right? And Frank Martin is supposed to be the premier fighter on the Man Down Promotions. Why would Errol Spence put him up to the slaughter against Tank Davis when they haven't been able to slide him into a title position like they did Rolando Romero? What sense does that make? This is the only dynamic I'm trying to break down to you, Blue. You know, you can take it however you feel. This is not no jab or nothing, bro. All I'm saying is, why dedicate yourself now to clickbait material that a lot of that shit you're doing is false? And then you got some other channels that you know, look at what you do and they'll say, okay, well, my assessment is I'll do that every now and then just to get people to click on it. I don't give a fuck about my listeners anyway, as long as they click on it and get the views, and I can continue to build. But see, gentlemen, I look at it like this. If you had a full-time job out here in the regular civilian life, and they was basically giving you a evaluation and grading you on your integrity and what they think of you as a leader, you won't make it far with that type of mentality, you know, with the information not being validated. You know what I'm saying? You telling people one thing and then something else has happened. That type of residue in the corporate world and the amount of work you put in, it won't move the needle any faster. It wouldn't promote you up the chain any faster. But I've witnessed the labor intensive content creators on here that will come on live several times a day, even on the weekends. And we're talking about, they're not even receiving hourly wages. They're not even receiving salary. They're receiving a minor compensation doesn't quite equate to the amount of hours that they putting in for this shit. But it's coming down to a point where what you used to do isn't working. So when you come out with the Frank Martin information, it's just to say, okay, Gervonta is the topic of discussion. He's the big dog. People want to know what's going on with Tank. So now you start linking people up. Human beings will catch on sooner or later, man. Human beings are going to catch on and say, what the fuck? And how much time and effort did it take for me to say that Frank Martin fight didn't make any sense? It was lunacy for you to even mention that without breaking it down. If this rumor is indeed to be true, then this, and this. You didn't do that. And that's just, you know, that's my gripe of the whole thing. You didn't do it. You just told people it was Frank Martin, like Frank Martin has freaking leverage or something. Like ooh and ah, the ooh and ah effect. No, it wasn't no ooh and ah effect. It was more say, you know what I'm saying? Nah. You know, people are not giving that. Ooh, what? He fight? Nobody was saying that. Nobody was looking for that. Nobody even thought when they heard that information that was something. You know, they really went to the other side and say, WTF? That don't make any sense. What is Errol Spence doing? Why would he send them in there with Tank? Isn't he trying to get him a title first? Then use that as leverage to go in there and possibly unify in a lightweight division? Because the titles are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The titles are everywhere. You got Shakur down there with a belt now. You know what I'm saying? You got Tank right next door with the WBA. I think the IBF is freaking still vacant. You know, you got them titles that used to be Devin Haney's. You know, he finally vacated all of them, which opened the door. So I was absolutely assuming that Spence has enough, or maybe not, enough I don't want to say power, influence rather, enough juice to get Frank Martin into a title shot. You know what I'm saying? Since he turned down, since someone advised him, you know, to turn down that fight with Shakur Stevenson for a title shot. And though that would have been a tough, you know, it would have been a tough out for Frank Martin to go in there with a Shakur Stevenson for his title shot. I get it. But also, it would have put you in there with some top level experience. Someone who was contending for the third division and you contending for your first championship. You know, you either could have had a very, very bright night or a very dark one. But the fight didn't happen because you pulled out. And then you went over there to a slumber party and you wanted to sit up there and say, you know, he was getting this and they was giving me that. And all he had to do for me to take the fight is giving me a little bit of and say nah, and give me a little bit of and that just made you look crazy, Frank. You know, this just made you look wild. Then you say, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be back at the end of the year." No, you wasn't. So that's where I'm at with it, Blue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know how what your longevity looked like when trying to put the information out here about these sources and things like this. Of course, you know, you can't frown upon the two words clickbait if you are an advocate of it, if you're a proprietor of the clickbait system. If you want to put out information and you speak on it, I mean, you put it in the title, but yet you don't speak on it in your whole live stream, that's clickbait. Then when you actually put information in your title and you speak on it during your live stream with no freaking validation to it, it doesn't look, it's not a good look, bro. Without breaking down, what does this fight mean to boxing in the lightweight division? It meant absolutely nothing. Tank get absolutely nothing. And how many times have we heard the Tank don't fight brothers? Why would he fight this brother? That's all I'm saying, Blue. It made no sense, man. It made no sense. And I'm not trying to plead with you no more. You do what you want. Real talk. You do what you want. You're going to do what you... But what I'm saying on here, I just sit back. And I'm busy looking at other combat sports. These dudes think they in competition on this YTC. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I just say, damn, that what they're doing it must be very stressful because they believe they're competing with somebody. And I love it when every time WCS come up, they'll say, well, to validate who I am status quo wise, you know, they speak of it outside of the YTC. They make it seem like I'm nothing in life because of the views I get on my freaking videos, right? And I'm saying, this is the facade that has plagued the social media game right now. You have too many people attempting to validate someone's status or hierarchy in life based off social media. You know what I'm saying? You have a guy that's on Twitter that's supposed to get all these, you know, mentions and views and likes on his Twitter posts. They up there complaining about working 2 jobs or working late and all that. Oh, okay, that's real life right there. You got people who actually have to go to work. You got people that actually have to go to work. You have people that has made the decision to be online and believe that, okay, a title, y'all, TITLE, a title has to have enough invested time to put the right words in there just so you can gain just a minuscule, a smidgen of spoonful of interest from people to look at your videos. Then, according to how many views, apart from the ones you pay for, you know what I'm saying? A lot of you are paying for subscribers and views. That's why you don't have a check mark on your channel. I get it. But the amount of investment that you're placing on the YTC, why would you have to result from what got you to where you at? What got you here? What got you the notoriety? You know, your presence, right? And the content that you put out. Now, if you're putting out you have these guys on here that's just putting out clickbaiting titles, and then they don't even talk about what's in the freaking title when they go live. They just want you to tune in and say, oh, well, did he say something about the title? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Blue was up there talking about new information on Gervonta's arrest. And he's up there talking about Calvin Ford. Hey, I can't respect that. I can't respect that, bro. Like, I know people probably be in your ear and they be telling you, saying, man, don't worry about none of that shit, WCS talking about. Man, you just do you. That to me in real life is slave type talk. Like when it comes to us supposedly being free as civilians, able to walk around in the US of A and do what the hell we want to do, the amount of investment that goes in here on the YTC just to get just a minimal traction, minimal attention. These guys are losing their mind thinking it's a competitive freaking outlet for them to somehow have this phantom idolatry. You know what I'm saying? This phantom idolatry where they're actually ranking YouTube content creators and giving them royalty status. It doesn't happen, y'all. No one's ranking us and putting you on royalty status, and you're getting paid extra money a month to go in here and do these live streams. Nobody is ranking us. It's no ranking system for us. You say you're the best. There's 10 or 15, 30 other motherfuckers say, no, you're not. Somebody say, oh, I've been on here longer, my catalog is better. And then there's going to be somebody else who say, no, mine is better. It's always going to be competition. Oh, I know more about boxing. Okay, then I'll tell you, well, I know boxing, MMA, and BJJ. And it's not anyone outside of a 2 or 3 that can really carry on a convo. I don't worry about the views, but I do value my integrity. You know what I'm saying? I do value that people say, hey, appreciate you not being a clickbaiter and putting out fake ass news like a lot of these other cats. You know what I'm saying? And I just say, well, I put it out like this. Like I try to give them the benefit of the doubt sometime. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not like he don't know boxing. But a lot of cats that will complain about what Blue put out, they just like him. They just like him. They complain about, stuff he did and how he got there and how popular people may consider him to be, and then they do the exact same thing. The exact same thing. But for him, when you put something out like new evidence on whatever Gervonta Davis freaking arrest, and you're talking everything about Calvin Ford, that's deception. That's what that is to me. That's being deceitful. You don't feel no type of way about that? I mean, look, I'm looking at it in a way that seems logical, okay? That's how I view it. I'm looking at it in a way of seeing logical. But more and more, that the years go by on this social media shit, I'm finding out people don't want logical. They don't want logical. They want you to lie to them. They don't want logical. They don't want you to be a truth teller. They would rather you be a storyteller with a lot of falsicities and biased narratives. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be extremely ex parte doing your live streams. They want you to have a certain agenda. They don't want logical. Real talk. I'm just looking, I'm seeing how YouTube continue to change, and people are trying to think to themselves, what are more ways I can make money? Let me give y'all another nugget too before I switch over to Crawford, because people say, I talk too much about my favorite fighters, and I say that's funny if you don't support the channel. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the ones who do both, interaction and monetarily. I appreciate you. But peep this out. These cats are out here. Like, how you in real life and, you go to these motivational events. They have a lot of them down here in the ATL, right? And they teach you how to be entrepreneurs. You have these people, look, they just had an event down here where you had to pay $1,000. The tickets were $1,000 to get in and listen to these. I forgot how long they was down here, but to listen to this seminar from these entrepreneurs, these successful entrepreneurs, on how to teach you to earn money, right? And I said, $1,000. Wow. So they saying in order for you to make money, you got to pay money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, when it comes to motivational speakers, they make a lot of money, some of these cats. That don't mean the people that's listening going to be able to generate or reciprocate what they said. It's not going to happen like that. But they was charging $1,000. So what I'm finding out on the YTC is that these cats on here are creating multiple channels. Multiple channels, right? To attempt to generate minuscule wealth. You know what I'm saying? Any type of minuscule revenue, right? We're talking about a real estate, a social media real estate that they have zero stock in. They have zero stock, y'all, in YouTube. They are not even an employee of YouTube. They're not even an employee. They're what you call a user. You are a user or active user. So whatever you make on here, YouTube gets it out the top. You get what you get, and then you got to pay taxes on it at the end of the year. I look at it like, what can you say that's yours? Can you say that you own a business? Or you want to go around bragging to people about, oh, I'll be on YouTube and I got this many followers. It's asinine, man. I know you don't want to hear what I say because you know the words. That's a rated blade is different. You don't have stock on YouTube. You're not in ownership. Yes, I'm a user on this social media platform. So is everybody else. You have people attempting to rank you. And they try to do it like, oh, he don't have that many users or subscribers. Like that has anything to do with my paychecks that I receive a month. It's just asinine that people go on here and they're creating multiple channels and they believe that they're some type of stockholder, some type of CEO, a founder of those microcosms. And those microcosms is not going to do anything for you, especially if YouTube changes over the next several years and decide to basically put another stipulation on the users of these channels. What if they have a shutdown for a month to revise their entire structure and their protocol and how they do and how YouTube is ran? What if they, which I believe is going to happen in the future, they begin to charge you to basically do live streams on YouTube? YouTube is making a hellacious amount of money, but they always, those guys that run these social media platforms, they always looking for ways to make more money. But you think when I go out to any type of brunch or gathering, you think I'm in the company of individuals that's bragging about a freaking YouTube channel? Do you think the big dogs that's on yachts have these private jets, these private parties? You know what I'm saying? The higher scale inner circles. You think they're bragging about this minuscule duffel bag of money that you put countless upon countless amount of hours into that doesn't even equate to an hourly wage? If you equate it to an hourly wage, it's like making pennies per hour. You get paid once a month to put out clickbait information. Y'all go live multiple times a day and sitting up here trying to basically rank the people who you respect as human beings and who you don't, regardless of what they got going on in their personal life. That is insanely discouraging. Insanely discouraging. That grown adults are basically trying to say, I'm etching my name in some type of invisible record book that the subscribers and viewers that I got up here, they're going to validate who I am as a person. They will sell them souls to put out fake information just for a little bit of views, instead of basically trying to build up a loyal, solid fan base that come over there for solid reporting on information that's going on in boxing or whatever you're trying to cover. That's the main thing right there. You know, we're trying to get to a point of credibility. Credibility is key. If you put out a freaking title and say, you know, new information on Gervonta's arrest, and you talking about his coach, bro, are you delusional? Real talk, what is going on with you? Are you delusional? Are you at a point right now that you just don't care about your listeners, including those who are so gullible to just continue to show up and be deceived? Ah, that's just the way he is. Don't worry about it, Charlie. It's just the way he is. Give me give me some pasta. Give me some stromboli. It's just the way he is, Charlie. Don't worry about it. I mean, come on, bro. That's just crazy. 554, what's good? The Prince has spoken. Will Tank take the fight, or will he duck Devin next time on Duck Fights? I'm T.O. and Ryan, twin cappers. A little yeah, for sure. Conquest on deck. What's good with it, brother? Band on deck. It's crazy how all of the potential good opponents for Bud are controlled by Al. Canelo Zoo boots. Charlo Heyman is bent on holding the brother back. I mean, we're gonna get to that next. Shout out to Boxing Conversation with Reggie Orange, man. What's good with it, brother? Very solid lives. You know what I'm saying? I get where you at with the recent ones. I get it. I mean, I went over there myself, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, you was spot on with that shit. Spot on, man. You know, that shit right there, that sanitation was needed. Mop the floor with that motherfucker. Is that guy who signed to be he didn't sign him, Conquest. He didn't sign him to no BOK Prime. He basically paraded him around as if he was going to be some fighter that was signed to BOK Prime, and nothing came of it. And look, that was a perfect example, Conquest, of people trying to take shots at people down here in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain fighters wouldn't have ever put themselves in a situation to even entertain that. To even entertain that shit. Nothing came of it. Couldn't make a fight. It was frivolous to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people got mad because I didn't believe the shit. You weren't looking for Brian Norman Jr. You didn't give a fuck about him. You just went up there and got him because you was in communication with somebody else down here to act like, you know, that was going to do some promo. No, that didn't do shit. Because for one, that person wasn't signing fighters. They didn't have a position like that. And there was a bunch of lies being put out to their, you know, silent partner. Now he's a co-founder. And, you know, like that, nothing happened with Norman being signed with BOK. He never got a fight with BOK Prime. Kate, man, what's good? I unsubbed from that guy a long time ago and hit the do not recommend button. That man terrible. I'm not here to dog him out, you know, as a person. I don't know him. I have seen him twice, you know, on the boxing streets covering the fight. But ultimately, when it comes down to the fake news and the clickbait, he was on live today, you know, extremely irate that people are pretty much reciprocating what I'm saying. Like, you know, when he came at me like that, before that, for those of you that don't know, I was trying to support the nigga. But I had an OG on here that I talked to from PBC, and he came in my chat and said, that's a lie. Like, this nigga had the audacity to come in my chat, and he said I was being sensitive about a person that I respect in the boxing game, that's been in there, who had a father that was in the boxing game. He was in the boxing game. How deep the roots and lineage ran, he don't know that. He don't know who I was talking to. He don't know. All he did was sitting up here telling me, oh, that's a lie, because the guy misspoke and he was in the process of correcting himself. So when he said that, I said gloves was off. I had to dip his ass over and over again. And that's where it all came from. Before that, I was trying to respect the brother until he came over my chat that he don't support and say something was a lie. You could have saved that, hit me in the DMs and say, oh, whatever that guest that you had on your channel, he misspoke about something. That's if he didn't correct it. We weren't talking about another content creator. We was talking about somebody who's a heavy in the game of boxing. And he came over here and with the hottest chat in the MFing game, and he wanted to damn stun on me. So you know what I had to do? I had to get him. I had to get him. You know, you cross the line. You never apologize. You try to say I was sensitive about my mans. Okay. All right, cool. All right, got you. All right. You want to play that hard shit? All right. Samar Warren, what's good, brother? Peace and blessings, beloved. Salute WCS Certified. Stamp the like button and support the grind. Salute to you. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing on Deck. What it do, Blunts? How you feeling, man? Shout out to my guy, Cal, man, from the boxing section, TBS, man. Solid brother right there. Real talk, man. Solid brother right there. He's one of the few, man, content creators that ain't up here goddamn selling themselves, you know, crazy, man. You know, good person in real life, man. But that's where I'm at with the source experiment, because I'm trying my damnness to try to figure out, you know, where his source is at. I don't, you know, people have been say, they'll come up here and say I hate, you know, some of the people I went at. I don't hate them. I mean, I don't know them like that to hate them. But most of what my reaction was defense. I was defending people saying, oh, it was a small channel, this, that, and the other. And look, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell y'all some truth, man. For a long time, I couldn't fathom how adults in this social media world would try to rank human beings now, grown-ass adults, based off social media standings. I couldn't understand it. And I ain't going to lie. You know, it's almost like I can't comprehend it. I'm incapable of comprehending this type of literature, this piece of literature, social media literature. I'm incapable of comprehending how people attempt to rank you status quo based off your subs and views on a channel. And look, none of us have ownership of this. We're not control. We can't call these people up that we've been knowing for years and say, hey, is there any way you can give me my plaque, boost me up 50,000 freaking subscribers so I can make 100K and get my, you know, YouTube plaque, because I want to parade it around and put it in the background when I'm going live. You brothers are crazy. You brothers are insane. It's almost like it's a deformity that's going on with y'all on this social media. I'm not trying to go into a rant, but it's almost like it's a diagnosis of retardation to some of you dudes. You're sitting up here creating all these avenues and thinking you are the one. And y'all come out here putting out information that really is deceptive some of the time. But you want to prove to everybody that if they want to come over here and listen to this deceptive information, come right here. I got you. I'm going to serve you up real nice. You want a burger? Okay. They serve them 2 buns. Well, it's nothing in between. It's a burger, right? How you used to a burger? Well, 2 buns and a patty in between. Well, goddamn, take 1 patty, move the top patty, put your hand in between that, and put the bun on top of your hand. Now what it look like? Do it look like a burger to you? Okay, eat that motherfucker then. Man, I can't do that, man. Come on. Well, hey, I can't help you, man. Go to Wendy's. They don't want you to stop and act like they doing something different, man. They doing something spectacular. And, you know, I don't care how people doing this shit. It's just the ones that talk behind your back. And they believe that in life, human being, I'm talking about living humans, they believe that YouTube somehow establish a hierarchy. It's unbelievable that you can say that Tank, new evidence on Tank Davis' arrest, but you talk about Calvin Davis' arrest. So you then put his coach in there, which is very a high point, a topic of discussion in the algorithm, but you don't want to talk about it because he ain't as big as Javante. Why? Because people want to know what Tank has going on in his next fight. You said Tank was coming back and fighting Martin. He ain't. Now, you want to say it's potentially he'd fight ElRayo. Who's your sources? Don't say, look, I remember Blue saying this, and he was adamant. Oh, they asked who my source is. I'm my source. Okay, there you go. There you go, bro. If you didn't see, PBC of all promotions, y'all. And this, I love it. I love talking about this topic because it's almost like, pouring some tap water, about 8 ounces, slicing up some fresh jalapenos, putting a dab of wasabi in there. You know what I'm saying? Some old collard green juice. Crack open a can of Spam and pour that juice in there too. Get some milk out the fridge. It don't matter if the expiration is passed already. Pour some of that shit in there. Find some old food back in the refrigerator. Heat it up in the microwave a little bit. Kill the bacteria. Just put it in there and let it get all nice and juicy. Who would have thought that PBC would award hashtag the best of PBC 2023 performance of the year? Ooh, I bet these content creators was goddamn putting their hand behind their back and they put one foot back, had a lead foot, and they closed their eyes and took off running into a brick wall. PBC said the award for best of PBC 2023 performance of the year goes to at Terrence Crawford. Who would have ever believed? It said Crawford established himself as an all-time great and the best. No, listen to me. Listen to me, you content creator. You know who you are. Don't let me start calling you by titles. Crawford established himself as an all-time ALL TAC TIME all-time great. Let me moonwalk that shit back. It's a thriller, all-time great and the best welterweight of this era with the performance for the ages, masterfully stopping Errol Spence Jr. to become the undisputed 147-pound king. If they didn't put that summary out there and dress it up, spruce it, with that phonetic love. That phonetic love on how they dressed him up with all the freaking size and goddamn, the colognes, how they beautified it, sliced the fruit, put them on the edges. Oh man, that was a fruit dish for the ages right there. Crawford established himself as an all-time great and the best welterweight of this era with the performance for the ages. Masterfully stopping Errol Spence Jr. to become the undisputed 147-pound king. Congratulations to Bud Crawford. Because though this is not a very sharp, finished image, I put it out there for a reason because most of what I put out there has a message. The reason why it's blurry, people, is because that's how that night was for Errol. It was freaking blurry. And in the process of being blurry, foggy, poor air quality, it's just like when you're driving on the highway and you run into thick fog and people stop, but the other drivers don't see that you stopped. That's what it was. It was a crash moment. Terrence Crawford was still driving his left and right hand to the skull of Errol Spence during that night. during those foggy conditions. You know what I'm saying? During that smoke-filled room. It said best of 2023 performance of the year. Terrence Crawford, Spence Jr. Imagine how quick it turns. You know, let's go back a little bit, you know, since we got a little time on Friday, right? And really, I'm not trying to make any new friends on this live stream either. Real talk. But I remember when they was just basically saying that he should leave, you know, Top Rank and come on here to PBC. Get on your knees there, Crawford. Bow before your master. Surrender yourself to the black man, Mr. Al Heyman. That's who you need to guide you to your next fight. They wanted Crawford to go in there and pretty much don't really open his mouth about negotiations. And when he started to get down to it, being that this was new charted territory for Crawford, they were saying the man didn't deserve transparency. These are the same people who go on a car lot and attempt to negotiate the price because they understand what it should be around about. They did the research, but they were saying Crawford, he don't deserve transparency if he's getting net pay. And that itself was proven to be a challenge in itself. You know what I'm saying? So they was basically saying, no, don't do your work. You know, act dumb as we think you are. Act like the slave that we have basically characterized you to be. And Al will take care of the rest. And they were saying how, I remember these people being vehement. They was like, he doesn't understand. Al Heyman is never going to do business with him again. He left the negotiation and he went over there to fight David Avenesian. He's never getting Al Heyman to do business with him again. Never. Al Heyman is done with Crawford. He fucked up a good chance to do this and that and the other. How dare he come over there and ask to see the books with Al Heyman? Who does that? I mean, these people was agitated, bro. They was mad. The angry black man of the YTC, man, put a script to it and make a movie. It was so many people angry, man, that he wanted to show people how business was supposed to be done. Because so many of y'all saying he was moving funny. He was moving in bad faith. He's bad business. That's what they kept saying. So when he left Top Rank, which they said he should leave the plantation, and went over there to do business, they didn't like that shit either. Come to find out, they just some bitter exes. For real. They just some bitter cheerleaders on the sideline that really didn't get on the starting squad. So they found out, oh, I may not be on the starting squad, but goddamn it, Crawford's going to hear me goddamn put these cheers out there. And it's not going to be in his best interest. They wanted to cheer from the sideline. We hate Crawford. We hate Crawford. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They was good with that. Al Heyman wasn't going to do no business with Crawford after he went to fight Avenesian. Because he had got up, walked away from negotiation that he didn't see that was beneficial to him nor his team for a fight of that magnitude. So he returned and revisited in 23, and the fight was made. Both fighters got good money. Now, I know people was kind of perturbed about the coin flip. I know people was pretty much perturbed once we found out it was determined who won the coin flip. Then that fighter get to choose if they wanted to come out first or second. So, of course, Bud Crawford came out second with the legend himself, one legend to another, Eminem, and the rest is history. You know, he went in there, the fights was introduced, and Crawford commenced to put on a clinic. And what did that lead to? I'm just curious about the conversations that I'll never be able to get, you know, a clear view, like a fly on the wall, on how they came up with this award for Crawford. How did they decide that, yes, we need to basically do a CETA reassignment? Excuse me, can y'all get up? Yes. We have seats available for you in the back in the economy session. Yes, Crawford. Yes. How many with y'all? 15? Yeah. All of you all, we have seats reserved for you in first class. Yeah, from here on out, yeah, first class. On the PBC private jet, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This is all the way until you lace up your last fight. Yeah. Oh, no problem. We're going to give you all the amenities that you need, beverages, food, whatever. They decided to change up and put Crawford on stage with Sam Watson. Who would have ever thought that PBC would hand out this award when he used to compete with Top Rank? Who would have thought? Of all the drama that took place with him being in Top Rank and this fight building up with Spence, for him to finally face his last fight with Sean Porter and tally out, attempt to go in there and make the fight with Spence, didn't work, return, got it done. Everybody, whoever it was, Showtime and all that, got the shit done. To go in there and beat him up like that and then get recognition for beating him up like that. This is their star pupil at one point in time. This is their golden child over there. This is their golden child, y'all. This is their golden child. Congratulations for that award. That's all I can say. Congratulations to that award, man. Shout out to the News by Shot News Sauce Experience, man, in the building. Team Tucker official on deck. What it do, man? What are the sources saying? I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you can, if you can take out the shovels and continue to dig. I know you said, the depth that you've gotten so far is starting to get hot down there. It's some lava flow going on. You're damn near at the core of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And you still haven't seen no signs of the sources. I can't really tell you to keep digging. All I'm saying, it would be great if you can find the sources. If you can find the sources, we might be good. You might be able to save Planet YTC. Al Money, what's good, man? I see you. How could the PBC give him that award and betray Arrow? Is it truly at this point there, Shot News, is it truly betrayal? Or did they feel like it was the right thing to do, being that they was fully aware that this man was living out of pocket for so long, and finally it hit a moment of climax where it was over and done with. There was no more that they could conceal. It was over. They knew what he had going on. They seen it play out. It was people talking long time ago about this shit. And they dealt with it, tolerated it until Terrence Crawford ended up concluding the last chapter and closed the book. And this is an effect of the performance that Crawford put on, even though the content creators, the cowards that was up here putting smear, you know what I'm saying, tarnishing this man's reputation. And they supposed to call themselves pro PBC channels. What do you have to say about this award? You all was the cowards that was saying that man was performance-enhancing drugs type of fighter, loaded gloves, making excuses for Spence. What do you have to say about this award? Please do tell. I'm not curious. I just think you owe an apology. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all was supposedly representing PBC. That's all I'm saying. Jage, what's good? When it rain, it pours. Yeah, it is pouring. It's pouring awards over here. It's pouring. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought that PBC during my lifetime, would ever come to grips to say we have to give this man an award? You know what I'm saying? We have to show some type of ownership. You know what I'm saying? We have to show some type of responsibility that he's with us now. So he did beat our golden child. He did erase the face. And he did it in the ring. So we have to award this man. We have to show people that we're not going to be butthurt about it. And we're going to give Terrence Crawford his credit, man. How dare PBC give Bud this award, and he ain't fought nobody? Come on, Samad. Come on, man. We not out of the first month of the year, man. Please, if you have flamethrowers on deck, please control the direction for which you're shooting that goddamn fire, man. Come on, chill, bro. How dare PBC give Bud this award, and he ain't fought nobody? I'm telling you, man, how dare them? How? They gave him performance of the year, but EJ needed eye surgery in his rib. How could the PBC do him like that? Got him. You know what I'm saying? How? I guess this is what Spence meant. Did it when he said he feel played? I mean, I'm just saying, is this what he meant when he said he was feeling played? Did he, was he trying to prognosticate being played in the future, or what? Did he find out that, hey, I'm not getting millions of dollars, I got to go through other channels to get my money? I think that's what it was. And then also, residual effect after that was also, finding out they don't love him no more. They don't love him. They don't love him no more. They don't love him. They don't love him no more. They don't love him. They don't love you no more, man. You was living out of pocket. Just like you was telling Crawford. I lived out of pocket my whole life. Well, guess what? Sooner or later, man, you don't see that obstacle. And that affected you by going in there losing to Crawford the way you did. Crawford shocked the world, and you was the opponent. You was the opponent of that night. And like I say, you'll be talked about for 15, 20, 30 years from now. Yes, sir. And it won't be a good thing either. You know what I'm saying? It won't be a good thing. W says that fan you're fanning over, those hot coals underneath these content creators is grilling their feet overdone. Yeah, it's good to always, the ones who was walking around just creating those fires also. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to burn down other people's achievement and accolades. It's good to fan those coals. But goddamn it, I'm not using too much energy. I got buckets of accelerant right there. I'm dumping goddamn gas on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm dumping gas. I ain't fanning the motherfucking thing. I want to see them coals burning. Hey, I'm dumping coals on top of coals with goddamn cups of gas. That's the only way to do it, bro. Shout out to Arnold Brown on deck. What it do, brother? Yeah, but, salute to everybody to the hottest chat in the MFN game. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. This is a good thing right here. This is a good look. You know what I'm saying? Coming from PBC. I know it's certain content creators that consider themselves to support PBC, but they don't have no information about the schedule. So a lot of them are being exposed for what many of us perceived them to be was frauds, bogus freaking voices on here, claiming they knew so many people that they don't know shit. They really can't come up with any of this. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come up with no dates. You remember how everybody was coming up with false ass dates in 2022? They had like a goddamn handful of false dates. Oh, this fight gonna be here. This fight gonna be here. Per my source. Per my source. This fight gonna be here. They didn't know shit. How people, go here and they want to act like they first and they know this. These motherfuckers dead ass wrong, man. But then 23, hardly any of the information got put out there. They didn't know shit. 2024, they don't know shit about no motherfucking schedule. They trying to guess when Tank gonna fight, if he's gonna be the first fight. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't tell us that potentially Canelo and Charlo will fight in May. Nobody dropped that shit. I'm talking about where are the content creators on here? Why aren't y'all considered to be the Michael Bensons, Keith Idicks, the Kevin Iolis? You know what I'm saying? Like, you all are picking up information from them via Twitter. They're the link. They're getting the information. Even they have to get the information from somebody. Even I remember Floyd tried to, correct Michael Benson, I believe, on putting out the fight will potentially be, and then he said, "Don't put out that fake information. I'll be the one to release." And then he ended up not being the one to release the information. He ended up being not the one to release the Crawford Spence fight. But let them continue to be eager as they drive forward, and come up with titles. And don't say shit about the actual title in the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Put something other and then talk about something totally different. Okay, it's going to continue to, I'm just going to brief y'all. It's going to continue to happen. They're not going to feel any type of way about WCS putting it out there again. They might, get in a private chat and say something, but it's just wild. Like, they actually believe, some of these cats that create multiple channels on YouTube is entrepreneurship. Oh my God, dog. Like, oh, it's amazing. They create multiple channels on YouTube, man. I mean, this is the I wouldn't call it the hustle. This is the desperation. This is scraping the bottom. We have individuals building up a transcript on what they're doing on the YTC. In 2024, we have people building up transcripts on the YTC and trying to compare transcripts as if this is a job that has retirement benefits. This is no different than boxing. You get in where you fit in. You continue to goddamn, put out these lives or whatever. Those of you that creating all these 2 and 3 channels and act like you're going to have the same amount of viewers in both spots. That is senseless to think. That's just senseless. Let me ask this last question. What could you possibly have if you put all that time and effort into building up a company in real life that generated revenue that no one was taking off the top like that? That's your revenue that you really can say, that's mine. Mine. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that with YouTube. You can't say that. You can't say that's your channel, because you have other people that's pretty much mediating that. You know what I'm saying? At any given time, they can alter what your channel has. You have a lot of content creators that are bitch made that report videos on you. You have individuals that are rah barking all the time, but they steady on the keyboard trying to get your channel removed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just telling you the protocol. So I don't have to sit up here and listen to people put out fake news. They don't have to listen to me. But yet I don't have to sit up here and make it seem like if I don't have any other topics to talk about, let me talk about you. Let me talk about some shit that's not even positively contributing to the YTC growth. What are you doing to contribute to the YTC growth? Everybody think, oh, let me keep it hush hush. Let me get on these private chats and come up with all these ideas and be different than everybody else. Listen, bro. This is not your social media platform. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all what WCS is going to tell you. This is not your platform. You are a user. Remember, I put it out there. You are a user. At any given time, this can be rearranged. And there's individuals out there that's trying to team up together and basically affect channels that they say that's smaller and a non-factor. You know why they say that? Because the voice is still the same, y'all. They'll talk about the damn views all day long, but they don't like the person who talking. So that's why they're going to sit up there and continue to type until they get what they want. Oh, so, hey, let me send a smokestack SOS out there to the content creators and let them know that none of what you did was going to stop the train from going to the station. You know, Terrence Crawford got the award from your favorite. That's legendary. Y'all content creators, y'all got to say that. This is the person that you hated at Top Rank, came over to your favorite promotion, TGB, and end up getting the Performance of the Year award. Now, you try to tell me who looks like the fool, okay? Shout out to the hottest chat in the game, man. Y'all hold it down. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.